Hello and welcome back to my EastEnders review. Thank you for watching. Good week this week, I thought. I think it's good at the moment. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, EastEnders is the worst it's ever been. And I agree that it's not in its best era, not by any stretch, but I really don't think it's awful. Lots of issue-based storylines at the moment, so little warning for this video. Yeah, the storylines in EastEnders are very heavy at the moment, so what is it? PTSD, FGM, schizophrenia, what else? Oh, potential eating disorder as well. So all of those things, if you're sensitive about, there's timestamps so you can skip whatever you want or just don't watch the video. Yeah, it's up to you. I'm going to start off talking about Callum's storyline because that is my favourite at the moment. He's my favourite character. Well, one of my favourite characters, so I'm very excited that he's got a storyline. I wouldn't even call this a storyline, to be honest. It's more of a struggle that he's always had coming up again. If you really cast your mind back a few years, he did have PTSD before, or show symptoms of it. I don't think they ever called it PTSD. And to be fair, they still haven't recently with this revisiting of it. This storyline definitely makes a lot of sense. It's more revisiting. I'm glad they're doing this because I was starting to question, did I just imagine him struggling with this sort of thing when he first came into the show? But no, I'm glad they're revisiting it because it feels like a storyline that they kind of started and dropped and now they're kind of revisiting it properly. I feel like I've said the word revisiting too many times now and it doesn't feel like a real word. But anyway, the point is, I'm glad they're doing this storyline. The thing he's struggling with at the moment is definitely guilt, because he wanted to go and catch the mugger and Fitzy, his work colleague, wanted to just go home and just leave early. So they went and chased the mugger and then the mugger stabbed Fitzy, and now Callum believes that it's his fault and he's terrified that if Fitzy dies, it's just going to be all his fault. I absolutely love Fitzy. I think he's wonderful. He's just, oh, it's just so nice to see Callum have a friend. Like when they were walking around and Fitzy was like, oh, let's just go home, and Callum was like, no. It's just kind of funny. They're just such a pair of idiots. They're just not doing their job properly at all. Yeah, they're both terrible policemen, but I enjoy their friendship. I'm guessing that's the last we're going to see of Fitzy now, unless there's a scene of him in the hospital. I don't know if he's going to live or die. I really hope he does survive because, you know, good character. It would be very sad for Callum if he does die. But I could see them killing him off because it would, you know, give Callum something else to struggle with, which, you know, they love watching him suffer at the moment. I sort of enjoyed the Callum and Whitney scenes this week. I was a big fan of Callum and Whitney together back in the day, so obviously when I see them together now I get a little bit excited, but, you know, she did try to kill Ben fairly recently. As much as she shouldn't have done that, you can't deny that it was a girl boss moment for her. If you can't handle Whitney, you know, being friends with someone, killing their husband and then supporting him through his PTSD, I think you're just, you know, you don't like to see a successful woman. No, I'm joking. I do have high hopes for this storyline, I really do. I know that they're doing a lot of issue-based storylines at the moment, and it would be nice to see a bit more casual drama, but, you know, this is what they're doing, and I think they will do it well. The only issue-based storyline that they severely messed up is the domestic violence one, in my opinion. You know, I stand by what I said last time. I mean, even that was good until it got to the aftermath. I thought the aftermath was terrible. I think the aftermath in most storylines isn't great, but I'm not writing this storyline off at all. I do think that it's going to be good, and I think it's been good so far. I don't know anything about PTSD, but I've done research because of this storyline, so, you know, if it's educating people like me, then it can't be a bad thing. So I think that storyline this week, it sort of ended off with Ben reading a text on Callum's phone from Whitney, so he knows now that Callum hasn't been going into work. Now, from my research, it seems that shutting out people close to you is an actual symptom of PTSD, because at first I was like, well, why didn't he just tell him? I know Ben said don't talk about work, but I was kind of like, just tell him, surely. But I did look up about PTSD symptoms, and it's true, if you push people away, that's a symptom of PTSD. So it makes sense that he's doing this. It's just really sad, really. As much as it is frustrating to watch, and you're like, oh, Ben, you just listen to him. Like, he doesn't have a clue. So, yeah, he's just making assumptions, but it's not really his fault that he's doing that. And then, you know, you can't blame Callum for what he's doing when he's suffering with an illness. But yes, I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn about PTSD. I think the storyline's being done well. Obviously, I've no experience in this, so I can't say, yeah, they're doing a great storyline and be 100% certain, because, you know, I don't know the facts, I don't know if it's good representation or not, but I've seen other people talk about it. No one's really said anything too bad about it at the moment. I think some people are a little bit disappointed that, you know, they've only been married a month and they're already having problems. Yeah, I mean, if everyone was just happy all the time in this soap, I don't think anyone would watch it. They've sort of got to continue with storylines, so I don't really know what to say to those people, like, what do you expect? Yeah, in real life you can't just say, oh, I've only just got married, so I'm not going to see anyone get stabbed and get traumatised by it. That would be a bit inconvenient for me right now. No, there's no choice. Like, you know, it's gonna happen. If it's gonna happen, it happens. You can't just decide, oh, we're married, let's just be happy for a bit. If something happens, then there's no stopping that. So now I'm going to talk briefly about Isaac's storyline. This one's about schizophrenia. Yeah, a lot of heavy storylines this week. But, you know, it's good that they're doing it. I'm happy to get educated. I did try and research a bit of schizophrenia as well, and I can't get my head around it. It's very, very, very complicated, so I'm not going to go too much into depth about it because, you know, I don't know anything. There's no point in me coming on here and hearing like, oh, here's all my opinions when I don't know any of the facts, so I'm just going to sort of brush on the storyline itself. What I will say is I am impressed about this storyline so far with the way that it's sort of happened slowly. I think it's been several months since Isaac first went off his medication. I think a good few weeks before that when we found out he had schizophrenia. So yeah, they're not rushing this one, which I like. I do think EastEnders recently have been rushing a lot of their storylines, kind of going into stuff, having a big dramatic scene and then leaving it. But they don't seem to be doing that with this, which is really, 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 really good. What did Isaac do this week? He bought a rabbit for Ruby and Martin's kids. Well, Martin's kids. I didn't know that was a symptom of schizophrenia. I guess maybe it's more of an impulsive decisions kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, I've tried looking up the symptoms. It's really complicated. So, and he also seemed to get a little bit obsessed with researching about his brother. I do not know any spoilers for this storyline, so we'll see what happens, I guess. I'm just going to have to leave it there because I really don't know what's happening, but I think they are doing it well so far. I'm glad they're taking their time with it. I think Isaac's a very good character to do it with. So yeah. Also, I love the fact that Lola and Ruby are now friends. Oh, it's so nice to see a female friendship again on EastEnders. I swear, I was gutted when Ruby and Stacey started arguing with each other because it's just like, why do you have to ruin that? They were good friends. They supported each other through so much. So yeah, that was kind of bullshit, but I'm glad that Ruby and Lola are friends. And they're very different characters as well. Very different lives, so it's just nice to see. They'll probably fall out in a matter of weeks because that's what EastEnders always seem to do with female friendships, but honestly, any female friendship I'm just like, I love it. I can't get enough of it. Right, now on to Vi, Stuart, Honey, Max, Rainie, Abby. A lot of characters involved in this. So Honey caught Vi's eye this week. For a moment I thought Vi was interested in Honey for herself, and I was getting a little bit confused. I was like, what are they doing here? This is, I mean, go for it, but what's going on? But it turned out that Vi wanted to set up Honey with Stuart. I was furious with this to begin with because I absolutely love Stuart and Rainie as a couple and no one can ever come between them ever, but it led to Vi learning that Stuart and Rainie are doing a surrogacy. Now it turns out that our old friend Jono has kicked Vi out of her own house. Don't really know how he can do that if Vi owns the house. And she won't even tell Stuart because he doesn't want Stuart and Callum to fall out with Jono permanently. I mean, she's been how do I say this, a bit of a bitch so far. She's constantly making digs at everyone, making offensive jokes. I quite enjoyed it at first because, you know, she's a little bit edgy, but I feel like every scene with her just drags on and drags on. It just lasts forever. I don't hate her as a character. I think she's nasty, but I like her in the same way that I like Suki. Not quite the same way. Suki's a legend. Vi's okay. I think she adds to the show. That's kind of what I'm saying. But yeah, she is getting on my tits a little bit. But it seems that Vi is going to be staying in the show a little bit longer because she doesn't have anywhere else to live. I mean, at least she's getting on with Rainie, which is nice. I sort of enjoyed that scene of Vi telling Rainie about what happened with Jono. Jono's obviously a terrible character and I hate him, but I still quite liked hearing her talk about it, just because I just like hearing about the highways, you know? I think they're definitely a family that I want to know more about, so just hearing them being talked about as a family, even though they're a terrible family, it's just sort of nice. We also found out that Max has kidnapped baby Abby. Is it kidnapping if he's her granddad? I guess so, because he's not allowed to do it. But yeah, I mean, that was supposed to be a nice moment when he left, when he gave baby Abby back to Stuart and Rainie, and that was supposed to be like, you know, a nice thing that Max does, and now he's gone and done this. Also, why is Max having all his interesting storylines after he's left the show? Like, he's got his baby with Linda, he's now kidnapped someone off screen. I'm not saying he was boring before he left the show, but he sort of was. Like, he wasn't really doing anything. He was kind of just following Linda around and being annoying. But yeah, he's got a lot going on at the moment for a character who is no longer in the show. Great bit of acting from Rainie at the end. She looked heartbroken. She needs an... Is she nominated for like an NTA or a BSA or anything? Because she needs one. I think she's amazing. Oh wait, they do a Best Partnership Award, don't they? I think Stuart and Rainie should definitely be up for Best Partnership. If I can nominate them, I will look into doing that. We're going to nominate them, we're going to vote for them. Stuart and Rainie for Best Partnership. Forgot to say earlier when I was talking about Martin and Ruby, I don't really understand why Lily is now refusing to go back to live with Martin when she's the one who wanted to live there in the first place. So they did this whole episode where she was planning to stop living with Jean and took her siblings to live with Ruby and Martin. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, fine then. But they were a little bit reluctant about it. And then Jean was heartbroken and it was awful. And now she's gone back to Jean, and now they're trying to get her back with Martin and Ruby. So why is it an issue if she just wants to live with Jean? You know, I think Jean... Oh, Jean's storyline breaking my heart as well. I think it would be nice for Jean to have Lily around, even though Lily's a little bit evil, you know, she still loves her. So yeah, I found that a little bit strange. And briefly before I go, Bobby and Dana. Oh, do you know what? I love their relationship and I think they're so sweet together. I think Bobby's brilliant. I'm a big fan of Bobby. I know he killed his sister like 10 years ago, but it's fine. We all have our faults. He's a legacy character. The new actor who plays him, well, not really new anymore, but the actor who plays him, he does him so well. He's just such a likeable character, even though he's killed someone. Yeah, I just think it's such a shame that Bobby and Dana's relationship is based on lies. Obviously, we're going to see that unravel soon. Yeah, it's going to be really sad when they inevitably fall out. I don't know how long Dana's going to be in the show. Spoiler alert, I know her dad's joining the show soon, so I hope he doesn't hurt our little Bobby. Oh, pray for him. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If I seemed a little bit more reserved in this video, it's because there's a lot of people in the house today, and I'm just feeling a bit self-conscious filming while there's people in the house, but I got through it. Side note, EastEnders are putting all of their episodes on iPlayer on Monday, and I for one am definitely going to be binging them. I don't know how anyone couldn't. I do not have the self-control to watch one a day. So yeah, next week's video will probably be on Tuesday, but you know, you can leave it if you want to watch it live, up to you. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like or a comment or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, bye!